It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Just ask the Lakers. Good Monday morning, everybody. Thanks for starting your week with us. This is Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale. That's Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Hi, guys. How are we?
Good morning, Jen. Good morning.
Greatest opening playoff weekend ever. Wildest, craziest finishes. Russell Westbrook? Well, what was that about? I've never seen anything like it.
Hey, sometimes you can't just look at the box score.
Hey, well, I'm staring at the box score, and it's lying back to me.
Exactly.
Yes.
That box score lied.
Yeah.
But I don't Lakers, though.
How about them Lakers?
I don't know. I think Skip might be wearing Lakers purple. Is that possible?
Yeah.
No, we don't want him. We don't want him over here. We don't want him. Put on some blue and red with Clippers.
Let's start there, guys. Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impressive was this Lakers victory?
Well, Skip, if you talk about just the Lakers, I would say probably an 8. But if you say Rui Hachimura is a 50, Austin Reaves is a 15. And I only went 15 for Austin Reaves, Skip, because you're really not sure. If you go back the last 6 weeks of the season, he's been sensational. But you never know how a guy's going to perform in his first playoff game. He's in the starting lineup. He's being counted on heavily. They let him handle the ball an awful lot. It told me a lot yesterday about down the stretch, the guys got out of his way. LeBron said, oh, hey, AD, hey, do you? Rui Hachimura says LeBron he's been giving me a lot of confidence to take the shot, be more aggressive. And Skip, that's what I'm saying. If you're a leader of a team, you find out what buttons to push. And he says, it gave me a lot of confidence that they had confidence in me. Mm-hmm. It does. Having been an ex-professional athlete, hearing John tell me, man, you can be special.
John
really?
Elway.
John Elway. Really? I can be special?
Yeah.
I'm going to be counting on you. I'm going to look for you and to have coaches call plays for you. Darvin Ham putting the ball in Austin Reeves' hand.
So you're saying you were Austin Reeves?
Close. I was. Yes. Skip. I was drafted a late-round draft pick.
Yep.
When I came out in 90, they had 12 rounds. I was a 7th-round draft pick. And
Austin Reeves was not
drafted at all. But, Skip, he worked his way into the lineup, coming out playing well. And it's like, hold on. I wonder if we give this guy more minutes, what could he do with him? They gave him more minutes, and now he's in the starting lineup.
That's the 12th game he started.
Rui Hachimura, Skip, he was big yesterday for the Lakers because when Memphis started to make their run in the fourth quarter, he answered every three-point shot, every big shot they made, he had an answer. He was, I was like, and I went, they was talking during the telecast on Sports, they were saying, Jeff Van Gundy said, oh, I want Rui Hachimura to take that shot. Okay, Rui said, I'll take it. Since you want me to take it, I'm going to take it. Skip, he missed one shot in the second half. He was 11 of 14. Rui did that?
Yes, he did.
I mean, D'Angelo Russell was 1 point away from having 5 guys with 20. Skip, this was very impressive for the Lakers. LeBron doesn't normally fare well in game ones, especially on the road. And if you look at it, you're like, well, dang, LeBron. But they didn't need his services yesterday.
They did not.
It was Rui Hachimura and it was Austin Reeves. But what I love most about the Lakers, Skip, is that they got out of the defensive end. Anthony Davis from the word go.
Yep.
Everything will be challenged. Mm-hmm. LeBron James says everything will be challenged.
Yep.
Nothing easy, nothing cheap, nothing deep. And they came to play yesterday. That's the type of performance. And the thing that I know about this Lakers team having LeBron James as your leader and Anthony Davis, who's been there before, it's not the first to 1. It's the first to 4. And we got 1. Let's be greedy. Don't be satisfied.
Yep.
Be greedy. Somebody treating you for a meal, they got a lot of money. Don't you just order, you know what, I think no, get the Kobe. Get the lobster, 4 pounds of it. As a matter of fact, get the tower. At Mastro, they got that tower, that seafood tower. Skip.
I know it.
They come to
I know it well.
Get it. That's what Lakers gonna do. We gonna get that seafood tower on Wednesday. 0-2. Whew. Grizz, you're down, about to be down.
Well,
0-2.
if it's 0-2, is it going to be 0-4?
Well, I mean, we don't want to get anything. We might get that greedy. We might get that greedy. But that was Austin Reeves, Skip. It's funny. It's like we don't even really mention the 2 big guns, AD and LeBron, because Rui and Austin Reeves, Skip, you said it, he's an undrafted free agent. and he gets the last 9 points. LeBron gives him the ball and stands on the wing. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis don't do anything. Hey, he ain't calling for the ball. Austin Reeves said, I got this. I got this, fellas. He said, I'm him. Kobe of the Ozarks says, I'm him. I'm him with LeBron and AD on the court. You are him, young man. You are him.
So you're going to an 8 for your Lakers.
Yeah, I give him 8.
I would give them a 10 for yesterday if LeBron hadn't been so, by his standards, ordinary yesterday. That was an ordinary, at best, LeBron James game, and I'm being nice about it because it was pretty ho-hum. It was pretty forgettable. It was a grand total of 5 assists and a grand total of 5 turnovers. That's no good for LeBron bleeping James. I don't really remember much about the game. I remember the chase down. We'll talk about that later on in the show. I remember a shot here or there. He missed his first 5 threes, and then he got a little hot, but he actually was riding the coattails of Hachimura. Boom, 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 coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, and before I get to Austin Reaves, I got to give props to Anthony Davis. I thought all was lost late in the second quarter.
Man.
And all of a sudden, I can't move my arm, he says right to the camera. I can't move my arm. In my life, in all my years of watching all sports, I have never seen a player overreact more melodramatically to injuries than Anthony Davis. I think he's going to die every time he gets hurt. I think we need to call the ambulance for him. I think we need to read him his last rites because he is injured. No, he's not. Maybe he is learning to have a little higher pain threshold. And I'm talking about a psychological pain threshold because, as you know, you can tell yourself you're going to tough through it. You're going to be okay. I mean, every once in a while, you actually get injured and you cannot fight through it. But for so many of these AD injuries, they're always mysterious. It's some stress reaction in his foot. I don't know. He got a classic stinger. Something happened where his arm got yanked a little bit sideways, and he got a little bolt of pain down through his elbow, and he's like, oh, my God, I can't move my... You can't move your arm? And I'm thinking, that's it. Ball game over. Because he did come out and set a tone for you.
Yeah, man.
He was cranked. He did what you have been begging for him to do in a big road game 1 at Memphis against the villainous Grizzlies. He just came out and said, I'm better than any of you guys. I can take this game over. And he did wind up with 7 blocks. But the most beautiful thing he did of all, what saved the season was he came out after halftime and looked like, dare I say, Anthony Davis.
He did.
I didn't see any flinching. I didn't see any grimacing. I didn't see any wincing. I didn't see anything that indicated he even had an injury. And he seemed to be 100% okay. But to your point, he really wasn't needed down the stretch of the game. So now back to the centerpiece of all this.
The Japanese Jordan?
No, I'm talking about the Kobe of the Ozarks.
Oh, Austin Reeves.
And I'll give you Hachimura. But on Hachimura, allow me to address that quickly. I told you the day they acquired him, which was a little before the trade deadline, it was like the first salvo. I said, I've always liked him. He plays with force. He's got an NBA body.
He does what does.
He and Austin share one quality. They are completely fearless. He'll just keep shooting. And sometimes Hachimura just starts to shoot. And I'm like, I don't know about that one. And he'll make it. And sometimes he doesn't make them. He'll run hot and cold. But you know and I know what can happen with this team. I'm going to say it again. Rob Pelinka was the executive of the year because he made so many big little moves at the trade deadline. And he got you out from under Russell Westbrook. And we're going to talk about Russ in just a few minutes here in our next topic. But the point is, he got out from under when I didn't, and you did not think it was possible.
I didn't. Nope.
He got out from under Pat Bev when he should have. In the end, he got so many nice little pieces that, hey, if Rui isn't hot in game 2, watch Malik Beasley come in and make 4 or 5 threes.
I hope so.
Watch D'Lo make 4 or 5 threes because he's highly capable, and he did lead you in assists yesterday with 7, right? Watch Schroeder come off the bench and make 4 or 5 threes because he's highly capable. You know it, and I know it. There are way more buttons to push for this team. I love this team, but I told you that from the trade deadline on. This team is positioned to go win the West if they can get past Phoenix. We're about to talk about Phoenix and their struggles at home in game one. It was just one game. But the point is, now we get to Austin Reaves. Dare I bring this up, is right before your eyes, Austin Reaves turning into, dare I say this word, a star?
Yeah.
Is it possible he's a star?
Yeah.
Like, it's possible.
Yeah.
We're seeing enough sample size now. He's played 29 games since that trade deadline. He started 12 of those games. That's all since March 22nd. So I'm just going to throw some stats out for you real quick. I watched this kid a whole lot at the University of Oklahoma. He stayed all 4 years. Isn't that usually a red flag?
Yes.
You're just not that good.
Right.
You didn't come out after your junior year, and you waited all through your senior year, and you weren't drafted. It's all you need to know. You can't make it in this league because it's not like football. You see more undrafted free agents than football come out of nowhere, and you say,
oh, absolutely.
Oh my God, Tony Romo can really, he's a star.
Right.
It just doesn't happen in this league very often.
Right. Well,
I look at his Oklahoma stats, and I kept telling you, he's just not that good because here are Oklahoma stats. For 2 years at Oklahoma, he averaged 16, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Not exactly NBA kind of numbers, right?
Those are not lottery pick numbers.
They're not lottery numbers. He shot 41% from the floor. Not good enough. He shot 28% from three. Out of here.
Right.
Can't make it. You got to at least be able to shoot threes, but he could make his free throws, 86%. Okay, so what do I see so far? In the 29 games he's played since the trade deadline, and he missed, LeBron missed that month, so he really got to rise and shine.
Yeah, he got the ball a lot.
He's shooting 57% from the floor, 45% from three, and 85 from the free throw line like he did in college. But the first two numbers are off the charts. You couldn't see it. I kept telling you, I watched him at Oklahoma. He didn't show any of this.
Right.
Have you ever seen a player improve more from college to NBA?
No, but Skip, if you watched him when he played, you knew if he got more minutes, had an opportunity, he needs the ball. So LeBron going out was a blessing in disguise for the Lakers, although they probably didn't see it at the time, because it gave Austin Reaves an opportunity to develop even more because he was going to have the ball and they was going to be reliant on him more than what they normally would had LeBron been there. So now, Skip, he has the ball. LeBron said, I saw this the first game. You can see he has a very high basketball IQ.
I think LeBron said he saw it in their first little preseason scrimmage when he was a G leaguer. And within 2 weeks, they decided,
ain't no more two-way.
Let's put him on the roster.
Ain't no more two-way. Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and so, Skip, sometimes guys need opportunities. Like Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram needed his own team. He wasn't going to be able to do what he's doing with LeBron. Julius Randle needed his own team. He couldn't continuously do what he needed his own team. Jalen Brunson needed his team.
Fair enough.
Boy, Mark Cuban kicking his own butt right now. After watching this kid down the stretch, you could have used that, Mark.
Hey.
but sometimes, Skip, you look at Austin Reaves, Skip, and he just get better in the moment. Sometimes, guys, you're like, yeah, Skip, he played well in the regular season, but the playoffs are different. The finality of it, the intensity of it, the physicality of it. The kid, like, if you didn't know better, you would not know this was his very first playoff game, and he's an undrafted free agent because he's playing like he belongs. He plays, he acts, I belong here. And Dame Lillard said, my bad. He's him. He like that. He for real.
Okay. So what did I see from Austin Reaves yesterday? He scores the first bucket of the game, and he backpedals up the floor doing the LeBron shoulder shrug, like the bully shrug.
Yeah.
He scored it on Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
And again, Austin Reaves was ready for some trash talk yesterday.
Yeah.
You guys want to dish? I'll dish it first.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Then he makes his first three with 7:33 left, and he turns to the crowd. You couldn't really see it on TV. He wheels sideways to the Memphis crowd and does ice water in my veins. Ice water in your veins? This is your first ever playoff start at a hard place to play against a team that loves to trash talk.
But you know what, Skip? He's feeling it. He said he grew up an hour and a half from Memphis. He had 100 family friends.
That's what he said. Was it 100? I heard 20. Whatever.
What you say? You got like 100.
Okay, all right.
But not necessarily. Maybe it's just some people from his hometown that drove up.
It's this tiny little town called Newark, Arkansas.
Right.
Newark, Arkansas.
So he's like, Skip, you know, hey, the people see, they ain't probably, a lot of these people have probably never seen Austin Reaves play since since high school.
That is probably true. I mean, except on television.
Right on television.
Live,
and so now he's like, I got to put on the show.
Okay.
And boy, did he ever.
And then he makes that last bucket that was really the dagger of the game. And it wasn't a clean shot. It kind of bounced around and fell through. And then he goes up the court yelling, I am him. I am him. What?
Yes.
Wait, LeBron's on the floor. AD's on the floor. For that matter, Ja was on the floor. Just
Jaren Jackson's
on the floor. And for that matter, Desmond Bain, and we can go on, Dylan Brooks.
Right.
I am him.
Right.
Austin Reaves
But
is
Skip,
him.
it wasn't an easy shot because if you remember, he's coming left to right, and he pulled. He's like, hey.
I know.
After he had just hit the deep three.
It's cooking. If we could see those, I don't know if we've been showing them, but we got them in a row. These are his 3 trash talk shots. This is the first one. He goes right up.
That should have been an and one.
Should have been. And
he shrug it out. He shrug it off. He shrug him off.
You're kidding me.
He's like, bro, give me that thing.
I got this. And he turns to the crowd and does ice water in my face.
Freeze.
What? And then we got, I am him.
Look at this.
I am him. I am
AD, they put him in the pit. He said, AD, I'll give you this rock. I got that.
Well, I am him. I am him. and I got to show you. When he gets rammed in midair, when he takes in the lane, which he does often, he is an attack mode player.
Yes.
He has a great talent for he can rebalance in the air.
Right.
He can sort of hang and sort of gather himself.
Take the contact.
And get back to a shooting position. Yeah. A lot of guys just go sideways and spin out of control.
Right.
But he can regroup and hang and make the shot.
Yes.
And that's a lot of and ones.
Right.
He is setting the tone for why they keep getting to the free throw line more than the opposition does.
Yes.
And he is also setting some of the tone on defense. And they finished, since the trade deadline, they were top 3 in defense. For a long time, they were top 1. Mm-hmm. But tell me defense didn't play a role here because, again, AD did have 7 blocks. So they're hanging their hat on the defensive end.
Yeah, well, Skip, you have 11 block shots to 2. Whew. I mean, anytime you can get double-digit block shots, if you remember, Skip, they led the league in block shots the year they won the championship.
They did.
But you had JaVale. You had Dwight Howard. You had AD.
You did.
So you had 2 7-footers, a 6'10", and a 6'9". So, yeah, you're going to average 7, 8, 9. I mean, one game they had like 14, 16 blocks.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of blocks.
Okay.
But
you have Mo Bamba and you have Wenyen Gabriel, and they played 30 seconds because they were not needed yesterday, correct?
Yes. But, Skip, now without Steven Adams and without the other guy that's injured with the Achilles, I think he has Achilles.
Yeah, Brandon Clark.
Skip, rebounding. 45-34. They were the best rebounding team. Steven Adams, because between Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson, they're going to give you 17 to 20 rebounds just between those two.
I mean, Tillman played 22 minutes and gave you 3 rebounds. It's not good enough.
Not good.
No.
You count on Big Adams to give you double digits. Mm-hmm. He's going to give you double-digit rebounds.
Yep.
Clark is the Energizer Bunny, so he's going to get probably 3 or 4 offensive rebounds just on hustle alone.
Yep.
And so now they're not able to control the boards like they once could. They're not the defensive team that they once was without Big Adams. So now all of a sudden, teams don't have a problem because you know one thing. Jaren Jackson is coming. When he comes, you replace.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be out of position. So it's either for you to get a dunk or you can grab the offensive rebound. Yeah. Just replace him. Whoever Jaren Jackson is guarding, he's coming from the weak side to challenge everything.
A lot of times, LeBron was trying to rest on defense against Triple J.
Yeah.
And for that game, on that day, you couldn't do it because he got a hot hand.
Yes.
So you're going to have to honor him a little bit more because he was the only guy who kept him in the game.
Yes.
Okay. Now, speaking of LeBron, this is just me. He said after the game, it was our supporting cast that won the game for us. Okay. I don't even like reference to supporting cast because they got a basketball team.
Right.
That's what my point is. You don't even need to call them supporting cast. You just have a squad. That's what you have. The pieces do fit.
Right.
Okay, that's my first take on the post game. You don't even need to refer to them as supporting cast because they are propping you up instead of letting you down, right? And then it was Desmond Bain who said after the game of Hachimura, he said, our game plan was going in, make him make shots, and he did. You tip your cap. He probably had the best game of his career. You could argue that.
Right.
But it's a 7-game series, said Desmond Bain. Let's see if he can do it again Wednesday. So they're daring Hachimura, well, it's rare. He's not going to make that many threes because you don't need him to make that many threes because somebody else will step up and make threes.
But are you sure Jaren Jackson is going to go 13 to 21?
He will not. I agree with you.
You make it see, and what? The question is, how hurt
Okay, that's it.
is Ja?
So he went out with 5:48 left, came down and bent his wrist back all the way, wrong way.
Right.
They were down 4 at that point. I don't think they would have won the game with him.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Right.
But he said, it's iffy, I'm in jeopardy. But again, Triple J said after the game that he's just telling you all that. At the end of the day, he feels fine. He'll push through anything. He's just going to tell y'all something good. So he's saying that he's poor-mouthing, he's sandbagging, he's just setting you up, but he's going to play. I'll buy that. I believe he's going to play. Did it look like he hurt himself? Yes, it did.
Yes.
And it was already wounded to start with. Okay?
I'm going to make him shoot it.
Okay.
I'm going to treat him like y'all said, Hachimura.
Yes.
Say, hey, let's see if he can do it.
Well, remember, he shot 30% from 3 this year.
I'm going to see. I'm going to keep him out the paint. And if he going to make threes, he can make outside jumpers. I'm going to live with that. But I'm going to keep him out of the paint.
So my biggest takeaway watching game 1 was the Lakers are just better than Memphis. They're just better in every way, shape, and form. They're just, I'll say this, they're a little better. And I'm with you. I could easily see them winning game 2. And then we got to readjust our predictions, which we'll do a little later in the show.
Round 2 unfolds in Memphis on Wednesday, guys, before this series heads back to L.A.
Oh, we get that kind of
rest?
rest?
All right, still to come here on Undisputed. Russell Westbrook, guys, is he why the Clippers upset the Suns? Plus, did the Kings show they are for real versus the Warriors? And don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.